Welcome back to Arcade Spirits. It's time for the afternoon shift. That's usually when things heat up after the quiet mornings. More kids coming in after school, more pro gamers rolling in with crews. I'm headed back to my desk, ready to take care of what needs taken care of, when I'm intercepted en route. Emmy, Ashley, you're both back. Good. I was hoping to catch you before we left.
Ooh, what's up?
Hamza's up.
Okay.
He is? Huh. Okay.
Ashley, I'll bring the van around shortly. Emmy, you'll be flying solo today. Hang on, what's happening exactly? Who's Hamza? Hamza's a game finder, an auctioneer, and gives next to no notice of when a new block of games will be going under the gavel, so we need to move. Ashley, Naomi, Francine, and I will be going to his auction for the rest of the afternoon while you run the Funplex. My first instinct is to nod and go along with it. Gavin's the law around these parts. But Queen Bee's words are still dangling away in my mind. Doing what needs doing is great and all, but maybe I need to step up a bit more. Plus, the idea of being trapped in here during our heaviest hours with no support was hardly appealing. Hey, what gives? I want in on this too. Let me tag along. Or, Whoa. What if I want to come along and see this auction myself? Come on, I'm never gonna learn the business if I don't take a bigger role. You're a floor attendant. Your place is on the floor.
Aww.
Well, that's patently unfair. I'm a floor attendant too and you're dragging me along. I feel like such a third wheel at these auctions anyway. Let Emmy be the third wheel and let me handle the floor. I'll be the finest third wheel you've ever met. Trust me. I want to do more than I've been doing. Different things. New things. Show some initiative, like... I suppose it wouldn't change much to bring Emmy instead. But no costume today, Ashley. I need non-plush fingers on duty in case of ticket jams. Pinky can stay in storage for the afternoon. I'm just happy to be helping folks out, one way or another.
I need to go get the van. Wait out front, please.
We'll probably be closed by the time you get back, so I'll see you in the morning. Floor attendant Ashley, away!
Leaving me waiting outside with my two traveling companions. Not much time to chat, however, as Gavin pulls his van and rental trailer around.
Oh my, how exciting. I rarely go on adventures these days. It's just a quick trip, ma'am. Any trip is an adventure if you make it one. Shall we?
The four of us pile in, and it's off to the highway. Gavin, consulting a driving map on his phone, leads us out of the city via a series of weird turns and back roads. Trust me, this will save time in the long run.
Where's Hamza set up this time?
On site at some abandoned estate just outside town. It's about to be torn down, but they found a trove of arcade games in the basement.
Woohoo!
So exciting. I love arcade raids.
Arcade auctions.
Raids.
Auctions. You guys got an arcade to English dictionary I could borrow? Francine, without looking up from her knitting, answers.
A raid is when a bunch of collectors gather together and rescue games before they can be junked by their original owner. An auction is when someone sells off their arcade games one at a time to a crowd of active bidders.
So, which is this, a raid or an auction?
It's both, dearie. Hamza, that sweet boy, buys up private collections before they can be thrown away. He rescues them from that terrible fate, and then auctions off his finds. Sort of.
Okay, now I'm fuzzy on the sort of part. I'm the newbie here, remember?
Well, okay, so Hamza obviously auctions off games for cash money, but he's a very whimsical kind of guy. Once I saw him trade off a vintage burger time in exchange for someone's super secret chili recipe passed down through generations of family.
In other words, he's just on the edge of being a loon. This would be a lot simpler if it was just a raid. We pay up front, we declare what games we want, and cart them away. Instead, he ambushes us with these impromptu auctions and makes us come down there to entertain his whims.
Wonderful.
I think it's sweet. He wants to make sure the games go to good homes, to people who really want them, even if they can't pay. And really, we should be honored we got an invitation. He's trying to cut out the big franchise arcades like Deco's Palace, and help the little guys, like us.
It's inefficient, and relies entirely on keeping on Hamza's good side. Huh. Helping out the little guys sounds good here, though. I'm guessing Hamza's the sort of person who would let a kid have the game of his dreams for free. He doesn't care about money, he cares about people. Am I right?
Correctamundo. Hamza's a great guy. Is he hard to predict? Sure. But he's got a big heart, and that means something in this business. Not enough big hearts left some days.
Yes, because that's how you pay the bills and keep the doors open. By having a big heart. I won't deny we can sometimes squeak out a trade that's practically a steal thanks to his personal modus operandi. But let's not push too far here. We need to temper our expectations a little, I suspect.
I think not.
We don't have room to add many more games, especially relics like Hamza usually deals in.
What about the off-site storage unit? We can just rotate games in and out more often.
Nearly full to bursting, and not cheap for us to rent on a monthly basis. I'm not saying we have to come home empty-handed. Certainly a few holes in our roster we can fill, should we find an excellent deal and beat the other bidders. But consider this, above anything else, a way to maintain relations with Hamza, even if we don't end up bidding.
Aww.
Now, Naomi. Gavin knows the numbers. I'm in favor of making our little funplex more and more fun, but floor space is finite. And Gavin, remember, if we find some darling little game Naomi would lavish adoration upon, we can always retire an older game. Life, my young friends, is a series of trade-offs.
Makes sense to me. Well, isn't it better to, not just settle and compromise all the time?
Well, now, there are trade-offs, and there are trade-offs. It's silly to say that you should never compromise, as silly as it is to say you should always compromise. It's what you compromise that defines who you are.
Dang, that's some wisdom right there, Francine. I mean, you're always dropping that weird esoteric wisdom, but that's a good one.
You're all so young yet. You've time to make mistakes in learning what trade you need to make.
Unless you don't make rent on your apartment, or your stomach's growling. Iris and Juniper have pushed me to stop settling for less out of life, to stand up for myself and my happiness. And I've done just that, without regret. So, everything should be fine now, right? Right? New default topic diversion, the weather! Well, at least it's a nice day for an outing, right? Oh, come on. Wonderful. Glad I packed plastic bags to wrap cabinets in, just in case.
That's our Gavin. Always thinking ahead. Trying to protect your investments, huh?
From Hamza's invitation, it seems this arcade was largely abandoned and left to rot. I'd rather not add water damage to the ailments the games are already suffering.
It's so sad when we come across a wonderful game that's just ruined beyond repair. Most collectors show their collections a lot of love, but others just don't care. You find old games in barns, exposed to the elements, and falling apart.
I suppose this is one thing we can easily agree on. It's important to take care of your games.
For their resale value, you mean?
A broken game's no fun to play with, and it's a shame to see a classic in terrible condition. Consider pinball. Pinball games are very prone to breakdowns, particularly older ones. To experience them in their glory, you need to show them care. Even beyond a busted game earning no quarters, it feels like a waste to allow an enjoyable game to lie fallow. A waste of true potential.
Huh. Good point. Glad to see these two getting along better, even if Naomi kept preemptively attacking him all along the way there. With the rain pounding down on the van roof, conversation gets a bit difficult. Gradually, everybody resumes fiddling about with their phones, knitting, or driving, leaving me to wonder, exactly where is this auction and/or raid happening anyway? We've been driving for some time, leaving the city far behind. What would a massive trove of arcade games be doing this far out in the sticks? Maybe it's some closed down roller rink, or a bowling alley, or maybe it's a creepy old house that's haunted by exactly 87,194 ghosts. Ah, the classic twin leaf luck in play. So majestically awful. Gavin pulls up alongside any number of other vans and trucks. We're here a little late, it seems. Good grief, is this really the auction site? Creepy. Definitely creepy. At least an 8 on the creepometer. An old home has character, I feel. Let's not judge it by the exterior, shall we?
With all speed, the group hurries inside to get away from the weather. A large group has already gathered in the foyer of the crumbling estate, but one rushes forward to greet us in a blur, as the others pay little mind.
Greetings, friends. Hamza welcomes our friends from the Funplex. Welcome, welcome. Gavin, stalwart as ever. Naomi, love what you've done with your hair. Miss Francine, a beauty surpassed only by your wisdom.
Oh, fresh.
And a new player, it seems. Who might you be?
I'm Emmy Twinleaf.
I see. Greetings to you and yours. I am known as Hamza, seeker of antiquity, finder of things lost, player of games.
Nice. That sounds like a fun role.
And welcome to, well, not my home, but a place where Hamza shall provide hospitality regardless.
Thanks. Seeker of Antiquity? 1980X is antique? I was unaware Reagan-era amusement machines were antiques on par with the Turin Shroud. You have fire indeed, but rest assured, many a holy grail may lurk in the arcade below. You may even find your own relic of a holy nature by eve's end. Alas, I've not a moment to enjoy your fine company, Emmy Twinleaf. Perhaps later, but for now, it is time. Clapping twice for attention, Hamza rallies the small crowd into the room and to begin the proceedings. Friends, companions, longtime allies of the noble art of the arcade, welcome. Welcome to Donnerwood. Its story begins nearly 30 years ago, when legendary pop musician Donna Michaels, singer of such hits as Thrilling and Mama Don't Mope, did a stately pleasure dome decree. Here, the reclusive idol crafted a private amusement park, a petting zoo, and an arcade. Alas, she could only enjoy this paradise for a short 10 years before her tragic death. Needless to say, the estate has fallen on hard times ever since. In this year it shall be torn down to make way for condominiums. But not before we have our say. And also not before we end this episode. So for now, bye-bye. I love you, and I hope you had a good time.